It's Friday. That can mean only one thing. It's time for Growth Profits, where today we're going to talk about there's no victory in winning the race to the bottom. What the hell does that mean? Stay with us. Hi, folks. I'm Sean Crabtree.
And I'm Cameron Bailey.
We don't want to change the way you do business.
We want to change the way you're thinking about your business.
We want you to have better results, happier clients, and make more money.
Let's get it started.
And thank you for joining us on Growth Profits. As you just heard, this is the show that comes to you every single week with ways for you to have happier clients, better results, make more money, and enjoy the ride. Today we're talking about what I think is one of the most important concepts that we run into challenges with in businesses all over the U.S. There is no victory in winning the race to the bottom. What's the race to the bottom? The race to the bottom is the lowest price. If you're playing the game of having the lowest price in town, even if you win the game, you're still losing because there's no victory in it. Mr. Producer, I'm going to set us up here so that we know what our situation looks like. There's no victory in winning a race all the way to the bottom. Why do I say that, and why is it important for you to listen to me? Here's the reason. No matter what business it is that you're in, whether you're building fences, commercial contracting, HVAC, it doesn't really matter if you're a dentist, whatever it is, if you're racing to have the lowest price, perhaps because you believe that that's why people buy from you, or perhaps because you believe that that is something that you want to focus on, for whatever the reason, it's killing you. And if you win that race, let me tell you how it's killing you. If you have the lowest prices around, and we'll talk about some examples of this in just a minute, but if you have the lowest prices around, think about it. You have to close more deals, see more people, do more work. Obviously, this goes without saying, to be able to take home the same amount of money that's required to pay the bills and all those other things as if price were not an issue. Now, here's the killing part of this, though, that may not be so apparent. Of course, you have to do more work. Of course, you have to close more deals. Of course, you have to see more people. But here's the thing. In many cases, depending on what your business is, to be able to see more people, do more work, you've got to have a lot more people on the payroll. You've got to have a lot more suppliers on the payroll. So essentially, to be able to do more business, because price is what you're shooting for as having the lowest round, your overhead is actually increased to be able to cover the amount of work that's required to be able to make more money. So you're double dipping. You're getting your hands slapped twice. And we see this all the time, especially in dentistry. If you're a dentist and you have the lowest prices around, or here's one of the things that we see all the time, if you have an in-house payment plan, right, which you're giving away free stuff and all of this, you're having to increase the amount of patients that you're having to see, which means you're having to increase the amount of supplies that it takes to turn the rooms over, which means you're having to increase the amount of people that you have on the team to be able to handle those patients. Your overhead is going sky high and your income is going down low. There's no victory in winning the race to the bottom of the pile. Throw it out the window. What do you do about it instead? Here's what you do. Number one, stop playing the low price game. Now, when you and I are talking about this, that's easy enough said, right? Stop playing the low price game. But in your mind, you're going, oh my gosh, how is that even doable? How is it justifiable? How if my prices aren't low, how am I going to attract business? You got to get it clear in your head. And we talk about it on this and all of our many other channels. But you have to believe it. Us talking about it is not going to do it. You got to believe it. You got to go get references for this. I've told you the way I learned it. Nobody on earth, including yourself, has ever or will ever buy anything based strictly on the price. Instead, you and I buy based on value. Now, before you can put your focus on the next step, which is actually creating that value, right? You got to get clear about this in your head. You're never going to go after learning the systematic approach to create value if in your mind you're going, it's really about price. It's not even about value. You got to prove this to yourself. You got to get this through your head. You know what? This was a tough one for me as well, but I can tell you, one of the reasons that I do what I do today is because in my previous life, the telecommunications industry, I was training 20-somethings on, this concept of sales and value creation, all of that. But you know what? They already had the foundation. They already had the belief. They already had the understanding that nobody buys based on price. We all buy based on value. So the things I was training on were how to increase value and how to create value and all those kind of things, because they already had the basis and the foundation. And the reason I do what I do today is because I'm amazed at how many entrepreneurs out there don't have that basis and that foundation. So step one, you got to get it into your head. You got to buy into this belief. Nobody on earth has ever or will ever buy anything based strictly on price. What we're talking about here is this. There's no victory in winning the race to the bottom, and the bottom being the lowest price. You can't win that game. Stop playing the low price game. This is step one. Stop playing the low price game because of all the things we just talked about a moment ago. It's killing you. Stop playing the game and start getting clear in your mind. It's about value. It's not about price. It's about value. It's not about price. I'll tell you a quick story. My father-in-law, who has been a pharmacist for about what, Mr. Producer, got to be like 42 years or something. A long time. He's been a pharmacist for a lot of years. He's down to now his flagship location. So he only has the one flagship location left. And so recently, he did a price comparison. Guess who he did the price comparison with? Walmart, right? Now, when people think of Walmart, what do they think of? The lowest price. Here's what he learned in doing and diving in and looking at this. Walmart is not the lowest price. As a matter of fact, Walmart is the highest price on so many things that they have in the store. Not only on pharmaceuticals, but on, some of their furniture, their clothes, all this kind of stuff. They're not the lowest price. Walmart has learned to market themselves as the lowest price. They've also learned that they want to highlight certain items as being the lowest price, and there's no question that those are the lowest price. But if you'll notice, even in your local Walmart, wherever it is that you're driving down the road listening to this podcast, if the next time you walk into your local Walmart, if you'll look around and really do some price comparisons, they are not the lowest price. They've even upscaled in a lot of departments in their stores so that they're the highest price on some things. Because even Walmart understands you cannot win. There is no victory in winning the race to the bottom. And Walmart doesn't even play that game. They still throw themselves out there in a marketing scenario in certain things as being the lowest price, because their hope is if they can get you in the door on whatever this particular thing is that is the lowest price, then you'll buy the higher margin products while you're there. And I don't know about you, Mr. Producer, but I do.
Save money, live better.
Save money, live better. That's the Walmart marketing scheme, right?
Yeah.
And every time I go in that place for this one little thing, I walk out with 10 of these other things, right? I mean, everybody does that. And so you're getting a deal on the one thing, but you're more than likely paying way too much on the other things. So you got to be like Walmart. Stop playing the low price game. And number two, put your focus on the value creation. Now, again, you got to do number one first. You got to get clear in your own mind. It's not about price. It's about value. You can't go after creating that value and following the steps with your whole heart of the value creation without first being clear in your mind. It's not about price. It's not about price. It is always about value. Go read some things to prove that to yourself. Listen to us. Go research some of our videos and some of our podcasts all over YouTube where we talk about this all the time. It's not about price. It's about value. If you believe that, you can go to the next step and put your focus on value creation. Now, how do you do that? I'm not going to spend a ridiculous amount of time on that in this particular podcast, but Mr. Producer, can we make sure that we put in the notes section some references to a couple of other videos where we talk about the value creation?
Yeah.
So if we could do that, and then they'll have that. But suffice it to say for right now, putting your focus on value creation means simply, in a nutshell, this. Stop playing price and instead find out what it is that's most important to your customer, to your patient, to your client. Find out what it is, where it is that they want to be. And then you can show them how the products or the services that you have can help them get there. Okay? It's not about trying to push your products or your services onto people. That's not what it's about. What it is about is finding out in a very open way what it is, where is the pain point that your client, your customer, your patient, what is the emotional pain that they're feeling, and then you can show them how the product or service that you have can fill that emotional pain. At the end of the day, that is value creation. Remember, there is no victory in winning the race to the bottom. So what do you do about it? You got to stop playing the price game by getting clear in your own mind. It's about value. It's not about price. And then step 2, put all your effort, all your energy, all your heart, and all your focus toward that process of creating value. Remember, at the end of the day, if you've got the lowest price, your overhead is probably higher, not simply because you're bringing in less, but probably because you're having to work twice as hard, do twice as much, see twice as many people. That means you got to have the resources and the manpower to be able to handle all of that. You're getting double whammied, right? There's no victory in winning the race to the bottom. Stop playing the price game. Put all your focus on the value creation. And at the end of the day, that is what's going to have you in a position to have happier clients, better results, making more money, and I promise you, enjoying the ride. I'm Sean Crabtree. Thanks for joining us on Growth Profits. We'll see you next time, same channel. Hope you have a great weekend.